In this video, we're going to start our first tutorial on regex functions. Now, if you've never heard of regex or regex before, regex or regex stands for regular expressions. And for the first time ever in 2025, a little bit of 2024, we now have the ability to use these types of codes to figure out whether our text is accurate or not in Excel. There are 3 specific regex functions built into Excel, plus they recently added this functionality to XLOOKUP and XMatch as well. So let's take a look at what regex really is, why you would want to use it, and specifically how we use it in the case of REGEXTEST. So again, regular expressions are codes that help us to understand whether text matches a certain pattern or not. You know, there are plenty of situations where you ask yourself, is this a valid credit card number? Is this a valid email address? Is this a valid location? Any of those things is represented by dashes and commas and numbers of spaces and numbers of words and numbers of digits. And so when you look up regular expressions online, you find out that there are all of these different code combinations. Now, this table is just a small number of the characters that are available to you when you're trying to build your regular expressions. So if you're building a regular expression and you put in a period, for example, what you're saying is any one character will go in this spot. If you type in an A or a B or a C, you're saying the character A or B or C has to be here. If you put in the letter A and you put an asterisk after it, for example, what you're telling Excel is that there may be between 0 and an infinite number of the letter A in this position. If you put an A with a plus sign at the end of it, you're saying there's at least one A, and there could be more than one A. If you put A through Z in square brackets, you're saying it could be any character from A to Z. And if you put lowercase a to Z and capital A to Z and 0 through 9 inside of square brackets, you're saying it's any letter or any number could be in this spot. So these are just some of the different elements that could go into those regular expressions. A real-life example would be something like, is this a Visa credit card, for example? In a Visa credit cards always start with the number 4, and they have 12 digits, each digit being between 0 and 9, and there's actually an optional 3-digit group at the end. So if you were to put that into a regular expression, it'd look like this. The caret symbol means starts with. The dollar sign on the other end means ends with. So it starts with a 4. And then in the curly braces here, you see the number 12. So then there are 12 digits between 0 and 9. But then in the parentheses, you see the question mark. Then we have an optional 3 digits that are between 0 and 9. Now, if this seems complicated, it's because it is. Regular expressions are one of the more frustrating things for people to design. But lucky for us, there are tons of resources online for finding and generating these types of regular expressions. For example, let's say I go to ChatGPT and I say, please generate a regular expression for email addresses. And I hit enter. Now, because so many people in the world have created these regular expressions for email addresses, ChatGPT has a really good handle on how to accomplish this. It not only writes you the code, but it also explains why that code is the way it is. So you see right here, the regular expression for an email address is it starts with characters between A and Z. It could be capital letters or lowercase letters, and it could be digits 0 through 9. It could also include periods. It could include underscores, percentage symbols, addition symbols, and dashes. Then there's an @ sign, Then there's more characters after that. And then there is an extension at the end. So you see the $sign right here. This means where is the end? And do you know how many characters are in one of those extensions at the end? Well, it's got to be at least 2 characters like .co, but it could be more than 2 characters. So you have 2 comma and then nothing after that. So it could be 3 characters or 4 characters. Some of my email addresses end in .training, so there's a lot of characters there. So this is a code that we can now use in Excel with one of 3 different regular expression functions. Let's see it in real life. So again here, we're using a function called REGEXTEST. In other words, a testing function, a true or false function that uses a regular expression. What we've done here is written out the regular expression on the right, and this says at the end of the file name, it has to end in a dot, and then it's either docx or PDF. That's what the vertical bar right there is for. Now, as you look through this, somebody just visually scanning it could go, okay, the first one's a PDF, the second one's a docx, and then this one is a doc. So we're hoping that the REGEXTEST function will generate true for these files and false for this one. Let's see if that's true. I go to cell F6. I go to the Formulas tab at the top of the screen, and I use the Text drop-down menu. And right there are the 3 regular expression functions: regular expression extract, regular expression replace, and regular expression test. For this video, we'll do the test. So I click on the test, and it's very simple. First question is, where is the text that we're interested in? It's in cell E6. Second question, what is the pattern defined by a regular expression that you want to look for? I've written it into cell H6, but because I know I want to autofill this down, I'm going to press the F4 key on my keyboard to put $signs on H6. And then lastly, do I want this to be case sensitive? I'm going to leave this empty, just allowing for this to not be case sensitive. It doesn't have to be case sensitive here. So I click OK, and you see here that Janet Powell's resume is in PDF format, so that comes back as true. If I put my mouse in the bottom right-hand corner and double-click, I get true for Daniela Suarez's resume and false for Yasmin Farouk's and all the rest of them. Where this really shines is, let's say I realize now that I also want to allow for .doc. All I have to do is come over here to my regular expression that's written in the cell H6, and I'm just going to edit this real quick and put in a vertical bar representing another OR and put in DOC. And just like that, Yasmin Farouk's resume being a DOC, Isabel Patel's resume being a DOC, these come back as true. But these resumes that are .png or MP4 come back as false.